You're still doing YouTube, Josh?
Yeah. You clearly don't watch my videos then.
I live under a rock. Like, you know, I'm wrapped up in
Tom is
work
a very busy man.
5 days a week.
Okay.
Hi guys, welcome to today's podcast. And today we have a few things to talk about.
Yeah.
And we have a special guest.
Yeah, and we're joined.
I'm very awkward when I intro. I don't know why.
Do you want to do it again, or is that okay?
Yeah, no, just keep going.
All right. Well, anyway, we've got a special guest in the episode. Welcome, Joshua Hawes.
Hello, it's great to be here.
So we had Josh on.
See, look, that is how you intro.
So Josh was on the podcast he was on the first ever podcast, and then he was on the podcast for Podcastmas. So to be fair, we were looking for a guest today, and we were like, it's quite last minute. So I asked that on Discord if anyone was up for it, and Josh was like, sure. So we thought, because to be fair, we may not. This episode isn't going to be like sort of an interview sort of one like normal. We may ask Josh a few questions, but this is just. I thought it'd be fun to have another like a guest to just talk through the topics with. So we have like a third opinion. So yeah, okay. So, of course, just before we start, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe down below on the YouTube, if you haven't already. We post all the podcasts on YouTube, or if you're on audio platforms, follow or whatever you're feeling like doing today. And obviously go check us out on Instagram at Unnamed Pod, where we post behind the scenes updates, when we post new episodes and all that stuff. And one more thing, if you want to send us a voicemail for it to be played on the podcast, then go over to anchor.fm/the Unnamed Podcast, and you can send us a voice message that can be played in the podcast episode. You may have seen that in the live episode that Sunny did one and sent that over to us. So if you want to ask us a question or say something, then do that. All right, let's just get into this. So first, I thought I said this isn't really sort of like an interview episode, but like then we can ask Josh a couple of questions, just sort of about stuff like to do with you, Josh. So first off, you started a podcast, haven't you?
Yes, basically, I just started this. It's basically something I've added to my YouTube. I haven't yet, maybe in the future, but I haven't yet like put it on any like listening services like Spotify or anything. But I just have it as a video. And Jacob Silver was lucky enough to be the first guest on it. And we basically just had a conversation about questions over his YouTube channel and that kind of stuff. We ended with an MCU movie tier list, which was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I can't. It's basically just when we have a little talk about YouTube. That's kind of something I wanted to do, and I really enjoyed doing the first episode. I have another person planned for it, so stay tuned for that. So, yeah, that's kind of what I do on my podcast.
Nice. So, yeah, I'd highly recommend checking it out if you haven't already. Not just because I'm on it, but like just check it out anyway. But it makes it better because obviously I'm on the episode.
Obviously.
So it's sort of like you in a similar way. It's sort of similar how the Unnamed Podcast started with us. Well, it started on my channel, and then eventually we. To be fair, it started. I did 5 episodes. Shout out to the 5 people on the first 5 episodes. You're OG. Two of them are in this call right now.
I know.
Josh was on episode 1. Tom was on episode 5, and then it was my sister on episode 2, Sunny on episode 4, and Archie Reed on episode 3. Just did that in the complete wrong order. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I look for. I enjoyed being on the episode. My hair is so annoying. I enjoyed being on that episode, and I look forward to hearing more because it's definitely. I feel like there was a point a few sort of, I don't know, I say probably maybe a few years back where there was a big sort of boom where everyone and their dog had a podcast, and
just a dog barking into a microphone.
Every man and their dog.
Yeah, every man and their dog. And I feel like now I feel like it's sort of. Still, a lot of people are still making new podcasts and stuff. We found that, especially with the Unnamed Podcast name, which, like, I kind of regret calling our podcast the Unnamed Podcast.
Yeah, but no, hang on, though. We're the OGs of it because,
we are.
You started it off as a series, then it turned into another channel.
We're the only ones who are actually staying consistent. Let me pull up the Unnamed Podcast. So you go to the podcast.
Actually, I was about to do that.
I have to say, we are the most subscribed Unnamed Podcast, but for some reason, we're not the top. Like, we're not the top of the list. You probably can't read that, but we are actually the second people on the list.
Although, if you do want to help us become at the top, subscribe and like and stay active on our videos.
We are the most subscribed to Unnamed Podcast. I think only for the reason, I'm going to be completely honest, I think the other Unnamed Podcast would have overtaken us
by
if
one.
It wasn't for them to stop. I think they would have overtaken us if they hadn't stopped making podcasts.
That's amazing.
Is the people, I feel like a lot of people are making podcasts, but I feel like out of all the podcasts that are made, the amount of them that actually survive and like keep going after a few episodes is fairly low, which is actually can be also seen with my podcast in that if it hadn't been for Tom saying yes to being the co-host, then it would have probably just ended there, or maybe it may have come back with another episode just in lockdown, but apart from that it probably would have just not much happened with it.
I have a new podcast idea, Jacob. We should go through and react to all the other unnamed podcasts.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
because I'm looking at another one now, and there's one 13 subscribers. It's got 3 videos, and it's just
there are so many unnamed podcasts. One second, let me sort this by channel. And to be fair, a lot of the other ones actually make very short episodes. So you search unnamed podcasts. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17. Some of them are like variations, like an unnamed podcast, the Unnamed Games podcast, the Unnamed Film podcast,
Patel show. Oh my god, the Unnamed Channel. Yeah, but anyway, we are the most subscribed ones, so I don't.
We are with 47. So if you haven't, help us get to 50. We were actually saying last year we wanted to hit 50 by the end of the year, and then I think we actually went down in subscribers this year. So I think we were on 46 at the end of last year. Then I think we went down to like 44 or something like that, and we've come back up luckily. But if you haven't already, please do subscribe down below, and obviously drop a like on the podcast if you're enjoying, or if you're not enjoying, just drop a like anyway, just because. Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So. I feel like the only reason, as I said, we stayed ahead is because the other ones have all stopped. So obviously our original competitor was the yellow Unnamed Podcast logo, whereas obviously they're no problem anymore. They got up to 8 episodes and then stopped. That was 7 months ago. They haven't posted a single episode. And then the green Unnamed Podcast logo stopped 3 months ago after 4 episodes. So you never know. They may come back at some point, but obviously. I feel like, and the only problem we were having slight, like, obviously it doesn't matter if we're not the most subscribed to, but obviously we'd prefer it if we were like the biggest one, because obviously we're the most OG. But they were doing very well on their podcast, the green one, and they were the ones who actually, it was really, bring this back up. It was really confusing with the whole Unnamed Podcast thing where they commented on one of our episodes and were like, we're the superior Unnamed Podcast. On Among Us, and then I was like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? Because people asked it on Instagram, and no, they did, but they just said no.
Okay.
And so it was literally like your idea to like it was their idea to collab, and then they said no to it when we agreed to it. So weird people. If you're watching this, hello. I doubt they are, because we're 8 minutes in, so they're not going to.
And guess what? If you want to collab with us, other Unnamed Podcast people, no.
Yeah, no.
Kidding.
The offer's off the table now. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know in the comments. Or also, I had an idea that if any of you people want to be on the podcast, then let us know. Probably the best way is just let us DM us on Discord, or let us know in the comments or on Instagram if you want to be on the podcast, because you're more than welcome. Well, not anyone, but anyone. I don't know.
People.
Like if we get short on guests, then we can start inviting sort of like random people in, just sort of.
Yeah, when we get desperate.
So to be fair, I was thinking recently that we had no ideas for new guests, but actually we do. I've now found a few people who would be happy to come on, and so it's sort of just organising them coming on, as well as other old people coming back on. Not old people as in like we're not talking about we're getting some pensioners on here. Not having your nan on the podcast, unfortunately, but we will be having some people who, I mean, old as in who've already been on the podcast, like Josh. But yeah, okay. Well, anyway, let's move on. So let's talk just before we move on. We were talking a bit about Josh's podcast, very very nice. Let's also talk a little bit about your YouTube, Josh. So you have been posting YouTube. You've still been posting YouTube videos. You've actually been doing them. Like, well, you've been doing quite a bit recently, haven't you? I don't know why Joshua Joshua Hawes. There we go. So obviously you've been doing a lot of film reviews recently as well. Still,
Yeah.
So tell us
Yeah, mainly I've been doing at the moment thoughts on the TV show Wandavision as they go episode by episode. Tomorrow you should be getting my thoughts on episode 6, like an extensive spoiler talk about that. I also did for the first time reacting to a trailer when I reacted to the Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer, which is actually coming out not long after WandaVision, which I didn't realise till recently. But yeah, so I do reviews, but I do plenty of stuff like collabs, like the podcast is a new thing I add, and just kind of more, just basically doing stuff that I kind of just really enjoy, because that's probably the stuff that's going to do the best if you generally enjoy what you do. So
so is your plan to sort of continue doing, like, what's your overall sort of goal for your content on this channel? And like, so would you want to, is your idea for this to do like lots more film reviews, or do you like, what is the content that like you want to make, whether you're able to make it or not? Like what is the content you sort of, is this the content you want to make?
One thing that I want, one thing I want to do, but because of current situation I can't, is maybe vlog a bit more, because I did one vlog, and although I think for the first vlog it was really good, looking back on it, there would be some changes that I'd make, and I was planning to vlog early last year to another Western event I was going to, but of course, you know, COVID happened, so and that event's still been getting delayed. I'm scheduled to go in May, but you don't know it with this kind of thing, so we'll just have to wait and see. I do really want to vlog that though, because I feel like I could do a lot better than I did the first time. For reviews, I think it's mainly going to be for newer stuff, because I've done the majority of older films that I wanted to touch on, and plus so I don't overfest my channel with just reviews and stuff. That could freshen up a bit more. So yeah, there's collabs, and that's kind of just the basic. I do quite enjoy Q&A videos. I do them every so often. So
to be fair, I think obviously it is. I was actually thinking the other day as well, because I was looking through back a couple of my old videos, and I was like, and to be fair, actually, it was the 2 videos I looked at were 2 with you, and it was chocolate. Like, well, 1 with each of you, so it was chocolate drink 1 and chocolate drink 2, and I was thinking I would love to do something like this again, like now, like not the same sort of thing, but something like in person, but obviously it can't happen right now. And I was thinking about how it's sort of like COVID, it's kind of annoying, because it's sort of getting to a point where I'm like, it's kind of hard to make sort of different content with people and stuff. Obviously I've been trying my best, but a lot of my videos have been either on my own, or luckily I was able to get a couple of videos with my sister when she came home for Christmas. I got 2 with her, and then I've got another one which I re-recorded, which I haven't edited yet. But yeah, hopefully once we can sort of like lockdown restrictions get eased a bit, we can maybe do some more sort of collabs in person stuff, because I was looking back at old stuff, and I think like I'd love to do some. I was thinking, actually, you know what, I was going to save this idea and not talk about it, like, and I was just going to do the video, but you know what, the idea's been done not a million times, but the idea's been done a bunch, so I thought I might as well just say it. So my idea, this is an idea actually I think maybe it was either Tom or Ethan came up with a while back, and I think it was Tom came up to do with the idea of doing a cook-off of him versus.
I remember this.
It's been written down on my ideas list for such a long time. Like literally,
my inspiration for that was Sidemen, because you know.
Now, like, as in, it must have been sitting on my ideas list for maybe a year, 2 years, just because we'd never got around to making it. And so basically the idea of it would be, obviously, I give the 2 contestants, Tom and Ethan, each a budget of, I don't know, £5, £10, £15, whatever. They go off, buy their stuff, they have a time limit to buy their stuff, come back, then they have time limit to cook, and then I taste it and see if I like it. Fairly simple concept, but obviously
it does sound quite fun.
But it could be quite funny. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. We can make it quite entertaining and funny. But obviously, Tom, that's actually a better idea.
Yeah.
I love that. We should. Okay. We need to talk about that after this. Okay. Let's not talk about that out loud. Actually, wait. Do you reckon we? No.
Let's not.
Keep it on the down low, and we can. We can talk about this after the podcast, Tom. But yeah, so I've lost my train of thought now. No, but yeah, so the cook-off idea, I think is quite a fun idea, but obviously it can't happen until it's safe to meet in person and stuff, and people can come around and stuff. But I definitely, and the thing is as well, it's annoying because it's now going to look, because it's been so long since we had the idea. We had the idea a long, long time ago, off of like one Sidemen video or whatever. But now, I think it's Cal Freezy has done his whole cook-off. He has a whole series of doing his cook-off. So people will probably think I'm now copying him or whatever, but it was an OG idea. If you're watching this, then you know that this was an original idea. It's not an original idea.
Or if you have enough people, do like the Sidemen did with the Tinder thing.
Yeah. Wait, did you see the latest one? We talk about a bit about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I definitely want to. I think as soon as restrictions sort of ease, I think I want to try and start doing some more collabs and stuff because I think some really good videos on my channel were actually like videos with people. What's it? Let me have a look at my collabs playlist because I've done quite a lot. To be fair, I've done quite a lot with the similar people. I want to do some other collabs with other people as well. I know Josh. I think Josh has only done collabs with me, haven't you?
Yeah, but at the moment, yes, on my channel. But I do have someone else, of course, coming in for the second episode of the podcast. So that's the first time someone that isn't you makes an appearance on my channel. So that could be cool. That's quite cool.
Yeah. So the only people I've done collabs with are Tom. Tom was the first ever collab. Tom's OG. I'm trying a very. One second. I'm just going to open this video just so we can hear mine and Tom's voices. Mainly Tom's voice because I remember Tom's voice is super squeaky in this video. This is.
By my friend Tom, and today we're going to be trying.
Let's skip ahead a bit.
Your channel is called The Paintball Bear.
The Paintball Bear.
What do you do? Tell me. I do paintball reviews on like my.
I don't actually do paintball reviews though, because a lot of it has been like funny moments and stuff like that. I've only done one paintball.
He's going to be
so young in that picture. Video.
Yeah. I love that picture that could talk. No. But
this isn't Harry Potter.
Unfortunately not. But yeah, so I would love to do sort of more sort of collabs with people, but we'll just have to see. Okay, so we were just saying about Wandavision there, Josh. You said a little bit about how you were going to be your quite a few of your videos recently have been your thoughts on Wandavision.
Yeah, on specific episodes. Apart from like when it first came out, because there was like 2 episodes, so I just put it in one.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't already know, and this includes Tom, basically Wandavision is it's a TV show. It's what is it? Because I always seem to get it wrong whenever I say it. Is it the first ever? It's the first Marvel TV show like on Disney Plus that's like part of the MCU or something like that.
It's confusing because there have been other MCU TV shows, but even Kevin Feige himself, who like runs the MCU, says basically don't worry about them. They're not really important. You don't basically dismissing them as canon. Instead, they're also kind of canon. It's very confusing. But this is the only MCU TV show that out at the moment that is 100% canon. So everything else, all the other TV shows are kind of like not canon, even so it's still labelled MCU.
So basically, I'm not sure. Have you seen Marvel films, Tom?
Some of them.
And by some of them,
not one of them.
Have you seen Age of Ultron?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, do you know who Vision is? And
yes, I've watched Endgame as well. Yeah, because then they made that TV show, not TV show, that show called Wandavision or something. I don't even know what that's about. But
Tom, that's what we're talking about right now.
Oh. Oh no! I thought you said. I thought you said Wandavision, like as in like one division. I didn't.
Oh my goodness!
Wandavision. She says it on the topic.
Oh my god! I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, Tom, it literally says it.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally on our topics list. Tom has it in front of him.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Okay, well, so they made this TV show, and it's about the two characters, Wanda and Vision, and they're like in love. And it started off as the first episode was it's in the style of it was set in a 50s or 60s sitcom.
The first episode was 40s, second episode was 50s, and it's slowly going through them.
So it was set as a sitcom, and so it was very it was really strange when you watched the first episode, and it was nothing like Marvel you'd ever seen from Marvel, because it was literally like a sitcom, and it was so strange. And if I'm being honest, the first episode was a bit strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. What, is my mic okay?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Oh, the first couple of episodes were a little bit sort of strange, and in fact, I actually have a thing where basically Christina was messaging me the other day. Actually, let me pull up the exact conversation, and she was like, because me and Josh had been talking about it, or maybe I'd just been talking about it, whatever. I think on stream or something like that, or no, maybe it was in chat or something. I don't know. Where was that? A small chicken. There it is. So she was like, have you watched Wandavision? I was like, yes. She's like, because I'm trying to watch the first episode and they aren't talking English. Is that wrong? I was like, yes, it should be English. And then she was like, it was in Dutch. So that's just fun. That's not part of my story anyway. And then she was like, this is terrible. And I was like, it gets better. And she was like, and I was like, stick with it. She was like, no. She was like, this is so bad. Why is this guy choking? And she just kept telling me it was so terrible. And then, so that was a bit, and then literally a little bit later, so then I was like, okay, so episode 3 is better, episode 4 is even better, and episode 5 is good. And she was like, And then a few hours later, I got a message, okay, you were right. And I was like, what great, I told you so moment. It was literally the best thing, where she had told me it was so terrible, she was going to stop watching. I was like, just stick with it. And then she literally messaged me back. I was like, okay, you were correct. I was like, it's so funny.
I even, because I watched movies, knew that this wasn't real, from the first 2 episodes. Plus, I'm not sure if you really care about spoilers, but let's just say in the current state of Vision, it creates an even more interesting situation in this show.
Yeah. Well, so there's been 6 episodes released now.
I have a question.
Yeah. Go for it.
What is the actual point of the show? What does it actually add to the story of Marvel?
So, from what I understand, I know Josh will probably have quite a bit to say on this, because Josh is our resident movie TV show expert. But what I know is, so it's like Vision has died, and Wanda has. What we know. This is what we know so far. Vision has died, and Wanda has stolen his body. I don't know. Josh explained that I can't do this. I can't.
Okay, do this. So she's basically, or at least someone's controlling her. That's still a bit in the confusing part. But she's basically taking control of this entire city and pretty much torturing the humans living there, and then weird mind control to create sitcoms. And they go through the decades. And Vision basically is the body, and because it's in this world, he's living and he's talking. Where it's just a dead body, just walking around, which is actually quite creepy. But yeah, so every time it's kind of got this weird shield. So every time something goes in it, it becomes to that style. So when it was set in the 80s, if you put in modern day something in it, it turns into the 80s format. And so they're doing it in the form of sitcoms, which is still a bit confused as to why, but at the moment it's kind of revealing more. I think what it's building up to, especially with the most recent episode, is the multiverse, which you might not know, but it's definitely different universes. I have a feeling this is going to be the show that's going to pretty much kind of put that in tatters, because they're going to go through each other and stuff, because there's a movie coming out called Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, and there are rumours about Spider-Man 3, then that past Spider-Man actors are going to return to play Spider-Man with the current Spider-Man. You're probably really confused.
I'm confused.
Yeah, kind of. But you did just save me a lot of time, so...
Yeah.
Tom's not gonna watch it now.
As far as we know, the humans are being controlled by Wanda, which can... Maybe she's now a new villain. But
Right. So short story summary here. So Josh has gone through everything there. He's basically told you the whole story of the MCU. No, I'm kidding. But quick summary: Wanda might be evil, taking control of entire town just so she can and like in the style of like a sitcom from the 90s, 1900s, 19,000. I don't know what I'm saying. And yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, can I just say for the next episode, because I know it's going to be based in like early 2000s, if the intro is not a Friends intro, then they've done something wrong. I don't even watch Friends, but I just know that.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So we're talking a bit about that. That's fine. So let's talk a bit about Twitch and sort of streaming and pogs and streamer moments and clip that and. Why am I just saying Twitch terms? So we spoke a bit about last time how I was streaming, Ethan was streaming, and Tom streamed a tiny bit. Tom hasn't actually streamed since then. We need another Tom Strong stream. I liked the first one, but we need another one.
I didn't know he had a Twitch. I need to follow it.
Yeah, you do. But what you need to do, Tom, is you need to stream like after like I finish streaming, and then I can like. I don't know if you know, but on Twitch you can raid people where you can start a raid to a certain person when you end your stream, and people can join into that, and then they go over to their Twitch. So basically, you give people viewers. So you need what you need to do. Like, what would be good is if you like stream after me, and I can just like give you my viewers. Obviously, I'm big time on Twitch now. No, okay, I'm kidding. But. One of the reasons I put this down is obviously Ethan did a stream earlier. A couple of times Tom's actually been referenced in Ethan's streams. And it's quite funny because basically he was doing a Jurassic whatever stream the other day, and he was asking people for name suggestions, and he had a Triceratops, and I was like, you should name the Triceratops Thomas Strong. So he named his Triceratops Tom Strong, and then he came out again because we were talking about Tommy Innit on the stream. And I put in chat and I said, though that's not the what, I can't remember the word I used, but I was like, that's not like the coolest, like the hardest Tom we know, though, is it? And I was like, no. Ethan was like, no, that's got to be Thomas the Triceratops Strong. But anyway, basically, Ethan was doing a stream earlier, and the stream was basically he was doing Minecraft hardcore. So it's basically I don't know much about Minecraft, but I found out that Minecraft hardcore is basically the same as like Minecraft survival, except if you die, you die. And it's over. And so he was doing that, and he decided to have it so that he had you've probably seen other streamers do this, where if you donate a certain amount of money, he has to do certain things. So it was like £1 and he'll drop the item he's holding, £3 and he will, what was it, what was £3? I can't remember what £3 was, but it was something. Was it £3 dig straight down? And so he has to dig down as far as he can, either until his pickaxe breaks or until he reached bedrock, so he could fall in lava. And then like £5 was something else. £10 was £5 was drop hotbar, £10 was drop entire inventory, £25 was something rather, and then £100, if anyone was ever going to donate that, would be he uninstalls Minecraft. So he did that, and in the end. Basically, I was like, okay, I want to ruin Ethan's game as much as possible. So I was like, I'm going to donate, and I'll only donate at the perfect moments. So if you know anything about Minecraft, obviously you know that like you want to find like diamonds and stuff like that. I don't know anything about Minecraft, if I'm being honest. But basically, I ruined Ethan's Minecraft hardcore by donating to him, and he literally it was like he was in pain because I made him he found diamonds. He made like a diamond pickaxe and a diamond axe, and then
you made him throw an axe into the lava.
I paid £1 for him to throw his axe into the lava, and then I waited until he had his pickaxe in his hand, and then got him to throw that into the lava, and he was like, oh, and I'm all out of diamonds now, and so then he went mining, found diamonds. And I asked him, if someone subs to your Twitch, so if you don't already know, on Twitch you can subscribe, and it basically means that you get no ads on their stream, and you get like an emote and stuff in chat, and that's I think like £4 a month or something, no £5 a month. And so I was like, if someone subs, what you do? And he was like, I'll drop 4 things from my inventory. And so I was waiting for the perfect moment. He found diamonds. I subbed and made him drop diamonds, emeralds, gold, and iron. So he literally had nothing, and it was very funny. But just wanted to bring that up. Hi, Ethan, if you're watching. You're not going to be, but I'm going to tell you to watch this. So hi, Ethan. For all the torture Ethan's gone through, then you should definitely go and follow Ethan. Twitch.tv/EthManPlays.
Yeah, you also stream quite a bit. You don't appreciate getting rickrolled, so I know that so far.
Yeah, well, so I've been streaming now. I've been doing streams fairly often. I've been doing a bit of Minecraft recently as well. I've been enjoying that. But every time I seem to do media share, I always get rickrolled, and it is horrible. I mean, eventually, once I get rickrolled enough, not that I'm saying I want to be rickrolled more, but I'm just expecting it. I'm gonna eventually make a compilation on Jacob Silver Plays, because it's already happened maybe 3, 4, 5 times, where people will share a media share video. I had one which was in my highlights video, which was someone just sent a video of waves, and at the end it was a rickroll. And I've had other ones. Some of them are a bit creative, some of them are just just stupid. But
although you probably don't enjoy them, they are enjoyable to watch you not enjoy them. So you also ate wet bread once.
Oh yeah, basically because for a stream, I'm going to make this into a separate video, so you can go watch this. It'll be out in a few days. But basically, someone in chat came in. This was actually quite early on as to when I came back to Twitch. I think it was like my second stream on coming back in January. And I was like, someone came into chat and was like, eat wet bread. And I was like, no. And so then I was like, okay, fine. And they kept pestering. And then eventually I was like, okay, so fine. If we reach 30 followers, I think I was on like 27 or something like that. I was like, if we reach 30 followers this stream and you're still here when it happens, then I'll eat wet bread. And I was like, but no making fake accounts. And then literally like 30 seconds later, I hear about 4 notifications as just my followers just go up, and it's like a bunch of people following, and I'm like, oh no, I made a serious mistake. And so they persuaded me to eat some wet bread, and it was horrible. But I'm going to make a separate video. I won't tell too much, but it was soggy bread, and literally it was horrible. Ethan was on the call at the same time, and so Ethan was literally just sitting there hearing me eat it. It was horrible. I definitely recommend. Go subscribe to Jacob Silver Plays if you haven't already. I'll make a video on there. Thomas.
Great way to plug all your channels.
Oh look, it's a rickroll. I wasn't expecting that. One sec. Let me just share screen on Zoom. So, oh no, stop playing this. We need to share this just so the podcast can see. Share. So Tom just sent this video in the chat. Oh look, that foot looks similar. Oh look, it's Rick Astley. What a surprise! It's a 4-second rickroll. Rick Astley. What a surprise! Not funny. But this is going in the highlights reel now. There's an extra one. Jacob Silver gets rickrolled on the Unnamed Podcast. So,
there you go.
Anyway, all right. I think that's enough waffling about Twitch. But you should definitely go follow me. Are you watching it, Josh?
Yeah, I just clicked it.
You knew what it was, Josh. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I just did anyway.
All right, but anyway, okay. So next, so I put down here. You'll probably realise we've got quite a few very, very vague topics on this list that I wrote down. Like some of these are just like one-word topics. The next one is Discord. Yes.
And snow.
And snow. We'll get to snow in a minute. So Discord. Basically, I just want to say a bit about Discord. So I've had a couple things about Discord I want to say. So I was we had a whole big conversation the other day. I think it was just under 2 hours we were talking for the other day in my Discord, and we had some amazing conversations about pineapple on pizza, and that we were warning people about it.
Yeah.
I want to make something to say I like pineapple on pizza. It's not something I would choose to have, but if someone offered it, I wouldn't turn it down.
Let's hear opinions. Pineapple on pizza, yes, no. Josh?
Yes.
Tom? Yes, no.
No.
On pizza. Thank you. Josh, I'm very sorry, but this is going to be the end of you being on the episode, so thanks for coming. I'm going to ban you.
It's a good job we're not on the paintball player right now.
Pulls out gun and starts shooting Josh. Josh, good job we're not in person at Tom's house right now. That would not be good. Anyway, so but one thing I was actually thinking before this is, and you can obviously shoot this out. I was going to ask Tom this after the episode, but I thought I might as well just say it now. My one thing was Tom's gone. It's already I can't really do it because it's something I need to ask Tom. So,
No, sorry, hang on. Yeah, no, go on.
All right, so my one idea was, and like just tell me what you think. So, was about having if this sounds really stupid, then like just tell me that. So, but about having an Unnamed Podcast Discord server. Thoughts?
You could. You could. But yeah. But the only thing,
you don't have to humour me for it. Just give it to me plainly.
But the only thing is, though, you have like a part of that on your current server, so it's kind of like, what's the point? But
yeah, I know. So I was speaking to somebody else earlier about this, and the only reason I was thinking was possibly about having an Unnamed Podcast Discord where we record on it. So we have a private channel where we record, and then also there's it would be very much just dedicated to just Unnamed Podcast. So if we ask for Q&A questions, we can ask on there and people can send them in and stuff like that, and it would just be dedicated just to Unnamed Podcast. I feel like it's a bit of a stupid idea, but I thought I'd just say it anyway, because why not? Let us know if people would want this. And it wouldn't but just be for recording. It'd be like just a nice little, I don't know. I just thought I'd say it because I had the idea, and if anyone would want this, let us know in the comments, and if people do want it, then we'll do it. But if not, then probably won't, because it's a stupid idea, and I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I'm apologising. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, moving on. Snow. So next one, we put down snow.
Okay, so yeah, it's I don't know what it's like outside the UK, but in the UK, we of course got snow for the first time in like 3 years, something like that. Yeah, and the last time we had, I remember this whole debacle with school, because although pretty much all the schools were shut, our school wasn't shut. They said no, it's still open, just for us to come in, say, oh no, it's actually shut, but now parents are having a nightmare trying to pick up their children for the most part. So there was a whole debacle just trying to get back at home.
Right. Yeah. Because we were saying that I don't think it's properly snowed since 2018, and we were having this conversation about before this with it was kind of funny because 3 years ago in 2018, me and Tom went to France for a skiing trip with the school, and then
oh, that was great.
And then literally, so we had snow there, and got back, and then it snowed at home as well, and it was good. But yeah. So this is actually just a warning. I know you're not going to be listening, Christina, but this is a warning that I have plenty of mugshots of you from that trip that I'm going to be spamming on the. I was about to say on your Discord DMs, but I feel like I'm just going to the media tab. Yeah, on server. But snow. Have you guys done anything interesting on the snow? Gone outside?
No.
Because I've been at work 9 to 5, maybe even 6.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I haven't done much outside. The problem is that when I walked to and from work, whether it's do the paper or actually work, there was for a long time ice like all over the path. So I remember slipping a lot. So it came to a point where I had to like walk on the side of the road. But even at that side, there was even some ice. It's starting to melt now, so it makes it easier to get to and from.
The furthest I've pushed the boat out is walking my dog.
Yeah, fair. I don't really go outside much. I haven't been outside much recently. The only time I've been outside, I think, properly, like anything to do with snow, really, is I went outside. You've probably seen on Instagram that I went outside and sat in some snow in my garden.
I saw that post.
I could get a 12 years, and that's crazy. Like the picture was, I'll show it on here now, but it's on my Instagram anyway. And actually, to be fair, I love how I just said that you've probably seen it. You've definitely both seen it because you both commented on it.
Yeah.
The paper player out here came in and said he was complimenting my shed. So this was 12 years ago, if it will focus. Wow.
Yeah,
I look so small. I had to replicate it. I'll try my best. So this is me today. Yeah. Well, not today. It was a few days.
Going to replicate the height, of course.
Yeah, it was. Well, obviously my legs there are a lot longer and stuff, but it was just funny to see. That was such a long time ago. Yeah. Time flies, as Josh commented. Yeah. Okay. Well, moving on. Let's get on to our next topic. Which is the Trump impeachment. We don't have much really to say about this, but Josh brought it up before. I've got up a BBC article here. So we had the whole fiasco with the Trump, with the Trump.
Just the Trump in general.
And with him being impeached twice, and then there was the whole Capitol incident and everything. And I haven't really been following it because I don't care about news.
Yeah, I'm not really either.
Especially American news.
I know this, which I think is a bit stupid, that what the main argument Donald Trump's like lawyers or whoever does the thing to say no, you shouldn't be impeached, is that he's no longer president and it would be unconstitutional. But that's like saying, let's just say I was speeding and the police stopped me and said, pay your fine, but I shouldn't have to pay your fine because I was speeding. I'm not speeding now, so that means that fine is unconstitutional.
Yeah. Actually, I've just opened this article here and they say that one of the big points of Trump's argument was about the First Amendment and free speech. Now, yes, that is correct. There is free speech. But I think what Trump has stepped over the line of free speech and I don't know what the other side of the line is, but he stepped over it.
Because he basically caused like a massive, riot, whatever. Everyone knows what happened at the Capitol like early this year, like in early January, I think it was. Yeah. Like everyone knows it at this point. And he pretty much encouraged it, which I think was like...
I think what it is he knows he's done wrong and he's just trying to use stupid excuses to get himself out of there.
And Ross also when he said to people to go home that he loved them and he respects them, pretty much.
Yeah, and well, there was one surprising thing. So obviously, with the whole, I heard about when Trump obviously. When Joe Biden took over a few weeks back, there was a whole thing where Trump was pardoning people and like the president got to pardon people. And I saw something that he could have pardoned himself, but then at the end of the day, he could have done that. To be fair, it's kind of dumb, but the reasoning behind it is that he could have pardoned himself and so got out of everything. But then at the end of the day, that is actually then an admission of guilt and saying that he is actually guilty. Because if he doesn't pardon himself, then he can claim he's not guilty. I think he knows he's done wrong. Either that, or either he's very, very deluded.
Since like the last 4 years at this point when he was president, as president. Yeah. So
either he's very, very deluded and he actually thinks that he's correct, which I think it could be possible. Trump's the sort of guy who could be an absolute idiot. Well, no, he is an absolute idiot. Sorry, or he could just. I feel like he knows that he's done wrong, but he just can't get it. Anyway, all right. I think we've got not really much left to talk about. I did put here down about Jake Paul. Oh, Jake Paul. I just don't like him.
I have no effort to talk about him.
Yeah. There is something I mentioned before, if we're not really going to talk about Jake Paul, about the idea of like colleges and schools opening like 8th of March. So.
Yeah. Because so there's the whole thing with COVID and lockdowns and everything, and let's just hazard our predictions. How soon do you reckon the restrictions will be eased? Because I think it was originally said that like the 8th of March, but I think I saw something earlier, maybe like 31st of March or something. So when do you think that we'll be? This isn't just back to school or whatever. When do you think that the UK will be? I think I asked this question a little while back on a podcast, but when do you think that? Let's talk about. So sorry, I'm really just waffling here. I'm just trying to get the one thing out, and I can't even do it. At what point do you think that we'll be able to go outside without masks on? We can go outside without masks on, but you know what I mean. Like, there'll be no masks, no social distancing, and that sort of stuff. I know they've already got that sort of stuff in like Australia and stuff, but when do you think it's going to happen here?
Well, I think in terms of when the easing of restrictions starts will probably be around the April time. We won't be out of it by April, but I think that's when the restrictions will slowly go away. Maybe colleges and schools are open by the 8th of March. It's just something else, but that which jealously I'm hoping for, just on my kind of sake, because although I think, because I do drama, and although we've done the best we can online, it's not like the same as actually being there. But that's like
one thing with college. That's the one thing with college is a lot of it is vocational stuff that is very hands-on. It's the same with me, and I'm doing obviously creative media where I'm filming and editing and stuff, and like lighting and audio and stuff. And it's stuff that you can't really do at home unless you have the kit. So I'm quite lucky that I have a camera, I have light, I have other light behind me. I've got like GoPro. I have a lot of stuff because I very much enjoy this stuff. But there's other people that don't have anything.
In terms of like when there's going to be like little to no restrictions, probably at the earliest summer. I think at the earliest.
Whereas I would argue, I don't reckon we're going to like be. What do you think, Tom? What's your sort of thought on the start?
I don't know.
We could be, because I think that the restrictions could be eased within the next coming months, but I don't think we'll be back to sort of. You can't really call it normality, but the new normal is what I'm going to call it. Of as in where we get back to the closest to where we were last, like 2020.
Yeah, I to be honest,
I mean, not 2020.
The amount of times the government has messed about. I mean, take Christmas for example. 2 days, I think it was 2 days before Christmas, they cancelled it. So it's all right them saying, oh yeah, we could be looking at May for, this, that and the other, or just going back to pubs and having casual drinks in pubs. But the thing is, they say these statements, but they I mean, so far they haven't kept up to much of what they've actually said to the actual deadlines. They're saying, so it could be by next January. It could be. I don't know, because they talk so much. You just don't know what's what.
Well, I think so. That's what I think. I agree with that sort of thing. That I don't think will be properly back to the new normal of like, as in, I don't think we'll be without masks and like out social distancing stuff until at least next year. I would say. I know it's quite early on. It could be maybe late next year, and I'd love for it to be like maybe like October, November time this year would be amazing. But I don't know. But to be fair. Well, I don't know. You keep talking, Josh. I'm just looking at how.
I was going to say, with the situation of the government's in a very tricky position, because you've got the scientists are saying be in lockdown, but you've also got these other people that want to start getting things back on the swing of things. So, and the government, I do think personally, are just trying their best. And for stuff like the last minute Christmas changes, yes, we knew about this variant beforehand, but you don't really know how much more deadly it is until you see it. You can be aware of it and have concern, but I don't think you can really understand how bad something is until it starts spreading. So I do think generally the government are trying their best, because especially because of course I know Boris Johnson did get COVID at one point, and my dad said this, which I thought was a really good point, was that because of course the situation with him, he said he'd much rather have someone running the country who knows how dangerous this virus can be, because I believe there's a point that he might have died or something. That's just something I heard.
In hospital, anyway.
So he prefers having a president that, of course, he doesn't wish that upon him, but nowadays he prefers it because they know how dangerous this can be, and if they need to make those tough choices, he can and he has, I think. Despite maybe if it's not stay to plan. The problem is with the virus, it's unpredictable. Like, it can start going down, but it only takes like a few things for it to get back up. Hopefully the vaccines help that, and by judging by the amount of people that have already got it, I think it's probably playing an impact. But we're going to have to wait for like the next few weeks, I think, to see if that hasn't had an impact or not. That's just my thoughts.
Right, I think one more thing just before we wrap up the episode. I thought I've got a page open here about vaccines. I thought so basically COVID vaccines. Obviously, so it says January to mid-February, they'll be targeting the top priority groups. So people aged 80 and above, care home residents, care home workers, frontline health social care workers, and then ages 75 to 79 and 70 to 74. So that's sort of, to be fair, that period is almost over of that sort of age range. And so then they're moving on to 65 to 69 in end of February onwards, 16 to 64 with underlying health conditions. So people sort of our age who are more vulnerable. 60 to 64s, and then I think it's sort of slowly working down the age group. So 60 to 64, 55 to 59, 50 to 54, and eventually I feel like with us being vaccinated, I feel like the earliest probably won't be for a few sort of
months,
because but then at the end of the day, it is also the fact that we are more like I'm not saying that if we get it we're not going to get seriously ill, but it's obviously a lot higher chance that someone older or someone with more with a worse condition is going to get a lot worse and like ill or possibly even die from it compared to us. So I think obviously vaccinated in the last 7 days, 3 million people have been vaccinated in the last 7 days. Let's see how many total have been vaccinated.
I think it's like 14 million. I think it was recently confirmed.
Is it?
Which is apparently ahead of their targets, which is a good thing, I guess.
Because I think we were talking about it maybe in last episode or something, and they were saying that they wanted to do, I think it was 15 million by maybe end of February or maybe it was mid-February or something like that. So it's good that they're keeping to their targets and stuff. And we'll just have to see how the situation goes. But anyway, cool. Well, I think that's about it for this episode. I do hope you did enjoy. If you did, obviously do check us out on other platforms. Well, don't check us out on other platforms. There's no point. I mean, social media. Go check us out on Instagram at Unnamed Pod. You can follow Josh, obviously, on his YouTube at I was about to say Jacob Silver.
All the links will be in the description.
All links will be in the description. Go follow Joshua Hawes. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching or listening, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.